Truck, wiggle out, jump, run, somebody.
I'm scared.
I know. I'm gonna be there in your head talking to you the whole time.
Truck, wiggle out. Jump when the truck slows down. Run, somebody.
You alright? Jack, listen to me. This is our chance.
The movie Rome is written by Emma Donoghue, who adapted the script from her own best-selling and award-winning 2010 novel of the same name. It stars Brian Larson as a woman who has been held captive for 7 years, and whose 5-year-old son was born in the small room. Their escape allows the boy to experience the outside world for the first time. This tale of an imprisoned woman resourcefully protecting her child from a violent male presence. This is a model of feminist film series that conveys the power of the motherly love.
Normal as you could.
You're so old now.
You are so old now.
Yep.
Hey, do you know what we're gonna do today?
What?
We are going to bake a birthday cake. You
Donoghue describes the film as deeply feminist and a hymn to motherhood. In her opinion, the character has been sexually abused for 7 years, and yet she is presented as courageous and interesting, instead to be innocent and pure. Because of motherhood, she's become this sort of icon of strength, which makes Rome a very feminist story.
Audiences who haven't read the book, what do you think they like most about the film?
I think it manages to take, the very ordinary stuff of parenting, the most basic negotiations about here, have an apple, no, I want some toast. And it puts it all in this extraordinarily dramatic framework where you're sort of like, never mind about the toast, you have to save his life, So I think it's a bit of a revelation when it comes to stories about parenthood. And I think it manages to take the kind of storyline of rape and captivity and turn it around so much that it's all about the woman and her strength and not about the pervert keeping her captive.
That's what came across so well at the screen.
Very lively, rambunctious character. But the difference is I gave him an ideal mother. I tried to imagine a young woman who would somehow, when she found herself in this terrible situation of giving birth in confinement, that she would somehow manage to pull it off, to take this as her salvation and to say, I'm going to have as much fun and as much love and make a life as near normal as possible in the absurd limits of an 11 by 11 foot space. They just seemed a natural pair, this very lively boy and this very kind of calm, nurturing mother who in a way they're a couple and they're also buddies and they have tensions as well, but I wanted to make a world which would feel whole. They're really not feeling any lack. They are managing to give each other all the love they need, and yet we're so
The basic
aware that so much
thesis
else.
of movie conveys that the mother's love transcends everything because it's wonderful and magic. The main character, Joy, is an impressive mother, keeping her son conceived and birthed during a horrifying captivity, and entertained, safe, and nourished under the most extreme circumstance. For example, Jack is still being breastfed at age of 5. Joy is always there with Jack, relentlessly threading eggshell onto egg snakes, fashioning labyrinths out of toilet rolls, and encouraging Jack to use their imaginations. She shows her great motherhood by shielding her son from the horrible trust, threat, and the depressive elements of their captivity. It took acting, lying, sacrifice, and an undying hope for Joy to put her best face forward and protect Jack unselfishly. She knows she's creating future flaws in Jack, but they are necessary to outwit the harsh reality.
You're
I'm so old now.
You are so old now.
Yep.
Hey, do you know what we're gonna do today?
What?
We are going to bake a birthday cake.
You chose to tell Jack that room was the whole world, that there was nothing else.
Good morning, lamp. Good morning, plant. Good morning, sink.
I wanted him to feel safe and that it was a great place for him to live.
Did you ever think you would be free? I hoped.
Hello, Jack. Thanks for saving our little girl.
Are we in another planet?
Same one, just a different spot.
I've been in the world 37 hours.
That's us.
I've seen windows and hundreds of cars and birds and grandma and grandpa.
Jack, someone here would like to meet you.
Will he find us?
No, he will never find us.
The depiction of the room as a microscopic space of intimacy, rather than what conventionally appears to be a space of punishment, may have the ability to explore the new dimensions to the story. The room may have an ability to also signify a mother's desires in freedom for her son, yet with a sacrifice which may risk their separations. The central metaphor is that the room in which Jack and Joy are locked is like a womb, representative of the deep, primal bond between mother and child.
Plant is real, but not trees. Mountains are too big to be real. Good morning, lamp. Good morning, egg snake. TV persons are flat and made of colors. But me and you are real. Ma, why do the aliens never scream back?
I guess they still can't hear us.